What's up guys, it's Ed from TechSource and welcome to Setup Wars episode 107 where you submit your desk setup to get featured on the channel. If you guys want to participate, make sure to watch the video linked down below. Also, huge congrats to all 4 of the winners of the LG ultra-wide monitor. Thank you guys so much for participating. I know a lot of setups did not get featured, but unfortunately I could only choose 5 setups per episode. So I hope to do more with LG in the future, but anyways, with that said, let the Setup Wars begin. The setup gear of the week goes to the stick-on game controller hanger, which I actually featured in my Wolverine setup. It was so popular that it got sold out the next day after I uploaded the video. If you got PS4 or Xbox controllers laying around and don't have a dedicated place to put them, then grab one of these bad boys and stick them against your desk, behind your monitor, or even on the wall and throw your controllers on them. It will help clean up your setup and it will be a lot easier reaching for them. You can also use it to hang your headsets, and there's even space around to route the cables for a much cleaner cable management. I'll drop a link below if you guys want to check it out, but with that said, let's begin the show. Starting off the show, we got a very nice black and red gaming setup from Isaac. The first thing that caught my attention were the insanely thin bezels from those AOC gaming monitors. He's got those hooked up to a mount, and below that is a giant energy speaker, which honestly looks out of place. I would either mount that under the table or against the wall. I mean, having it just sit on the desk like that is not aesthetically pleasing. He's also got the Razer Black Widow Chroma keyboard and the Mamba Tournament Edition mouse. I know I said that this was a black and red setup, but I just noticed his yellow Corsair Void headset.
How dare you insult the black and red team?
Literally everything else is black and red. The gaming chair, RGB lights, and his PC, which is rocking a 6700K and an ASUS ROG STRIX 1070. So why couldn't you just go with a black and red gaming headset? Excellent work with the cable management. Looks like all the wires are hiding behind the backboard, and I kind of like what you did with the keyboard and mouse wire. Instead of drilling a hole in the desk, you kind of tied them together and ran them under the speaker and into the back. Is that why the speaker is there? Are you trying to cover up the cables? Because I can't think of another reason why it's there. Also, props on the wire management for the Samsung microphone setup. Adding some zip ties in the boom arm keeps the cables from hanging down. It's an excellent setup, but it does need some tweaking. Thank you regardless, Isaac, for entering. Next up is James with a very clean triple monitor setup featuring 2 BenQ displays on the sides and a 24-inch ASUS monitor in the center. I was going to say that symmetry was on point, but soon realized that he has both his IKEA plant and the LED lamp on one side. If he kept one of them on the left side, it would have been perfect, but it's such an easy fix. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I mean, maybe you like your IKEA plant next to the LED lamp. Maybe it helps you sleep better at night. I mean, who am I to say otherwise? I'm just giving my opinion. So if this was my setup, that is what I would have done. That's what the show is about. But anyways, back to the show. So on the desk, we got the popular Corsair Strafe RGB keyboard, and that's paired with the unusual UTech Smart Venus MMO gaming mouse, which is the first time I've actually heard of it. For audio, he's rocking the HyperX Cloud 2 gaming headset, a Blue Yeti microphone, and some adorable tiny speakers from ÄäLVÄNGEN. I believe these are the A2 Plus speakers. Cable management throughout the entire setup is nicely done, from the microphone wires, cables running down the monitor, and the rest of the cables under the desk. I have no complaints. However, if you really want to clean things up a bit more, I recommend picking up a wall raceway to cover up those monitor wires, kind of like how I did with my Wolverine setup. Down here we got the PC that's pushing all these pixels. It's got the 4670K and an EVGA GTX 970. It looks like you have your RAM sticks in the wrong slots. And also, why are you using the stock heatsink with the 4670K? You do realize it's an unlocked processor, right? If I were you, I would pick up a cooler and overclock that bad boy to its max. Other than that, it's a pretty clean setup for the most part. That mic placement is kind of bothering me a bit, but I'm sure you were going for convenience rather than aesthetics. Thank you, James, for entering. Remember that wall channel I was talking about in the previous setup? Well, Andre here put it to good use, covering up the cables for all 3 of the Samsung monitors and for his TV, which he mounted on the left side. Nicely done. He's also using the Corsair Strafe RGB keyboard and the ASUS ROG Gladius mouse. The only audio source he has is the Corsair Void RGB wireless headset, but other than a few action figures on the desk, He's got his PS4 over there in the corner and a phone stand. Pretty straightforward stuff, nothing too exciting. Under the desk is where his PC is chilling. It's currently rocking the 4790K and the ASUS STRIX 970 with 8 gigs of RAM. Cable management is very clean. There isn't any suggestions I can give you. The only things that caught my attention are the keyboard and mouse wires, but other than that, it's a pretty clean setup. Thank you, Andre, for entering. Sarunas is next up with his transformer desk, and I say that because it has many purposes. First up is the DJ setup with his MacBook, Pioneer headphones, and the turntables out. Then we got the gaming setup with the Corsair K70, MX Master mouse, Razer Tartarus keyboard, and the Blue Yeti microphone. I also noticed that each setup has its own set of lights and the monitor is in a different position. The production setup is when he needs to create beats, and you can see that the monitor is much closer to him. He's able to adjust the position of the monitor thanks to the ErgoTech Freedom Arm, which even still today is my favorite monitor arm of all time. And finally, we got the racing setup. As you can see, everything else is tucked away, and the only things out are the racing wheel, joystick, and the wireless keyboard and mouse. I love that everything has its own dedicated place, and that's because Sarunas custom built his desk from scratch. Major props. He's also improved it quite a bit from the beginning. Just like everyone, including myself, we all start from somewhere. This was his original setup a while back, and then he upgraded his monitor, got a few speakers, and some DJ equipment. He did pick up a few more upgrades later down the line, and most recently he upgraded his monitor to an ultra-wide. By the way, welcome to the ultra-wide club, and his newly built desk, as you can see in this picture. Here's a really cool mod that I noticed. Sarunas used 2 laptop extension stands to hold up both of his speakers. That is very clever. That's definitely a great alternative for people that don't want to mount speakers on the wall or have any extra space on the desk. Also, kudos on the hooks that you installed on the side of the desk to hold up the Xbox controller and keyboard. You really did think of everything. I would imagine that cable management was a nightmare to do on a setup like this, with so many things to connect, but I'm actually surprised at how clean and organized he kept everything. A bunch of Velcro straps and cable clips made this possible, and he even added a pencil drawer on the bottom. That's what I'm talking about. And finally, wrapping up the setup is the PC that's powering everything. It's equipped with a 3770K and a Gigabyte 980 Ti. This setup has personality, it's unique, cable management is awesome, but most importantly, it has purpose. And you know what, guys? It's been a long time. It's been a while, actually. Sarunas, if you're watching, congratulations on receiving the next official Setup Wars seal of approval. As always, the winner of the seal of approval will receive a $100 gift card, a TechSource t-shirt, and a custom-made plaque with my signature on there, which is optional if you want. So if you're watching this, Sarunas, congratulations on your amazing setup. Make sure you toss me an email at Setup Wars to claim your prize. Finishing up the episode, we have a very clean and simple white and black setup from VADS with a Star Wars theme. We got the 27-inch Acer Predator hooked up to another Freedom Arm, and I like how it's kind of hidden behind the MacBook. On the desk, we got the Corsair K65 RGB keyboard and the Mamba Chroma mouse, which is on top of a Firefly mousepad, and that's also on top of another mousepad. The only audio source he's got is the Logitech G933 headset that's resting on the headphone stand from 12 South. And speaking of 12 South, the MacBook stand is also from them. VADS did an amazing job putting all this together and kept the color scheme on point as well. Even inside his PC, which has a 6700K, 16 gigs of RAM, and an ASUS GTX 1070. And finally, for cable management, we got a power strip and a channel raceway in the back holding up all the cables. No complaints here, a very dope white and black setup. Thank you, VADS, for entering. So that is it for this episode of Setup Wars. As always, make sure you guys drop your comments down below and vote on who you think has the best desk setup. And I'll be announcing the winners on my social media platforms on the weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week. I love your faces, and I'll see you in the next one.